Welcome back, SethBling here. Today I want to share with you 3 tool-assisted speedruns that I made. If you don't know what a tool-assisted speedrun is, basically I went in frame by frame and said what controller inputs to send to the emulator every frame. And by doing this, I could create perfect speedruns. So today I want to show you 3 different TASs, TAS, that I made. This first one here is a tool-assisted speedrun for the new credits warp route, assuming perfect play by a computer. This is not intended to be done by a human. This is using some really hard strats that really wouldn't be viable in a real-time gameplay setting. The time is sub 40 seconds, which is pretty cool, 39.5. But there's some really hard strats in this. At the beginning, your goal is to bounce on a Koopa and get it to stop or despawn on a certain X coordinate. And the strat used in this run is just definitely not viable by a human. I tried it for like a half hour, I couldn't even get close on a console. You have to despawn that Koopa as it's like kind of moving to the left. And then this strat here, you have to kick up the shell while Mario has 0 X velocity. Can't be moving at all horizontally. It was really hard to set up in the TAS, and it definitely wouldn't be viable for a human. The rest of it's pretty standard for the strats that we're using, so 39.5 seconds. The second TAS is more of a human theory TAS. If you were using strategies that were viable by humans, but were executed perfectly, what would that look like? What kind of time would that look like? My time using this set of strategies is 42.2 seconds, although this TAS uses some like riskier versions of those that are a little bit harder, but faster. But this should look very familiar. This is basically the same route that my speedrun used. This sort of setup was came up with by Furious, but I'm the only one who's actually executed it successfully. 41.117 is the time there. My time is 42.20, so there's about a second that can be saved by humans. You know, that's assuming that my TAS is perfect. It actually is possible that a human could even beat that. It's just sort of the best I could come up with. But it's probably beatable by, I don't know, tenth of a second or something. This third TAS is actually not the same credits warp route. This uses the previous credits warp route with shellcode. That is, you set up a bunch of sprite X coordinates by spitting out shells at different positions. So this was the previous route. The world record was held by Furious at a time of 1 minute 13 seconds. I wanted to see if any of the new tech that we discovered for the new route would be useful, and it turns out it is. So this part at the beginning should look very familiar, but this isn't how we used to do it when we used the shellcode route. And so by doing this at the beginning, you can actually save quite a bit of time. And then I also used a different setup here to actually spit out the shells. It's a little bit faster. Obviously, I'm like, in the TAS, I'm able to hit every pixel first try without having to adjust, so it's a little bit cheaty, but I was able to get this human theory TAS for the old shellcode credits warp route down to sub 1 minute, which is pretty cool. This route doesn't use any multi-taps, which is kind of cool because the new route does. Also, for some reason, Mario and Yoshi are moonwalking, which is just bonus time. That's awesome. I really love that. Anyway, I just wanted to share these 3 TASs with you. I had them sitting around. I thought you might find them interesting. I definitely did. It's kind of interesting to see what are some of the fastest possible times in these different categories or different routes. That's about it. Thanks for watching.